Hi everyone, good evening to one and all. Today I am discussing about a new topic that is belongs to embryology again, and the topic name is that is general oval structure and development of female gametophyte and the structure of embryo sac. See, first of all, these are all belongs to the female reproductive structures basically. Now I am going to a deep discussion of oval structure. See, this is the common oval structure, and the oval. This is a one of the female sex organ basically. See, this type of ovule which is participating in the fertilization process. Right now, I am discussing about the general structure of the ovule. See, the ovule which is covered mainly three integuments. See, that is nothing but outer integument, then inner integuments, and third one that is middle integuments. See, the ovule which is surrounded by three integuments, that is outer and inner and middle integuments. These are the protective layer to the inner tissue of the nucellus, even inner embryo sac structure. Next, some ovules which is not cover any type of ovule integuments. I mean that type of ovules which is called as the type of ovule which is also called as that is I mean without integument ovules. Then some ovules which is covered only one integument to the outside. Some ovules which is covered two integuments. So usually the ovule which is covered three integuments. This is a very important. The next, in ovule structure we can observe mainly three regions, that is nothing but that is nothing but this is the first one, that is Kalaja region, and that is Andadwaram, I mean that is the micropylar region, and the nucellus tissue. This is the nucellus tissue. Clear? Mainly three parts, that is outside callagel region, and inner side, that is micropylar region, in the lower side which we can see the embryo sac structure. Then each ovule which are having a Raphe structure. This is usually all the ovules we can see. Then now the embryo behind of the integuments we can see a particular a specialized tissue, that is nothing but is a nucellus tissue. This is a very important in the ovule. Why? Because the nucellus tissue which contain two set of chromosome, that is nothing but diploid in condition. This nucellus tissue which is modified the megaspore mother cell. After that megaspore mother cell which producing four megaspores in the process of megasporogenesis. See, what is the definition of the megasporogenesis is nothing but the megaspore mother cell which is participating one meiosis division which producing four megaspores, that is nothing but megasporogenesis. And now I can explain to the inner side of the embryo sac structure. The embryo sac structure is usually in angiosperms with seven-celled 8 nucleus. Embryo sac structure is present. The first time embryo sac structure was discovered by Strasburger scientist in the plant of Polygonum. That means it is also known as the Polygonum type of embryo sac, which contain seven cellular and eight nucleus is present. Right. Next, this is the embryo sac structure which present seven cells, the inner side of the embryo sac, and which contain 8 nucleus. In the antipodal cells which contain only 3 nucleus, and in the lower side at the type at the pole or the region of micropylar region, we can see three cells. That is in the middle position, that is egg cell and synergid cell. These are also having only single set of chromosome, either single nucleus which contain only, that is a three nucleus. In the central side we can the polar cells which contain two nucleus, that is the diploid in nature. This is a common structure of the ovule. The second one, the development of megasporogenesis. See, before that I can explain the definition of the megasporogenesis. The development of the megaspores. See, first of all, the nucellus tissue behind of the megaspore, um, sorry, behind of the inner integuments we can see the diploid cells. These are called as nucellus tissue. These are the diploid cells, and the nucellus tissue is um, modified as megaspore mother cell. See, this is the first one, megaspore mother cell. You can see the megaspore mother cell undergoes to one mitotic division which producing before that the megaspore formation, the spore cell which is participating in one mitotic division which producing two cells, that is a primary wall and also the primary sporogenous cells. See, the primary sporogenous cells which is modified spore mother cell. This is a very important, that is especially megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell which is participating reaction of meiosis which producing four cells. These are the four megaspores will all are having only haploid cells. This is the megaspore tetrad. See that I mean the development of the megaspores, the reaction which is called as megasporogenesis, which means the genesis of the spores. Why? Because we are calling megaspores in the process which is participating only megaspore mother cell. Hence, now now I can explain the structure of embryo sac. See, the embryo sac structure. What is the embryo sac structure? Is nothing but in the embryo sac structure which are having majorly three parts. That is, so embryo sac structure first discovered by Strasburger scientist, and he is discovered in the particular Polygonum divaricatum plant. Based on that plant name, the embryo sac, first embryo sac which is called as Polygonum embryo sac type, and he is discovered in since 1884. And embryo sac structure we can see majorly three parts, that is one belongs to antipodal, and second one that is a polar region, and third one egg cell. See, antipodal cells which is located at the region of chalazal region either towards the outside, and second one the egg cells which is present towards the micropylar region. In the central cell, in the central we can see the polar nucleus as a polar cell. The antipodal cells which contain mainly three cells, and each cell which are having a single nucleus. Hence, the antipodal cells are haploid in nature, which is these are all vegetative cells which is not participating in the reproduction mainly. And uh, in the micropylar region we can see egg cell, and the egg cell behind then surrounded by synergid cells. The synergid cells which are helping in the process of fertilization, and also egg cell. This is the sexual cell which is participating fertilization process. The egg cell is also having only single set of chromosome. Now the main region, the central region, that is the polar region which contain two nucleus. The polar region which are having two cells, that is the diploid cells. in the when the fertilization time in our botany, the angiosperms we can see, we can observe two different type of fertilization type. That is nothing but one is, that is first fertilization. The second one is second fertilization. The first fertilization is also called as double fusion. The second fertilization is also called as triple fusion. What is the definition of the double fusion? Is nothing but one male gamete fusion with the female gamete of phyte, either egg cell, which is formed zygote. That is common fertilization process. And the male gamete having only single set of chromosome, and the female gametophyte as our egg cell is also having only single set of chromosome, which is participating fertilization, which is giving a big cell, that is zygote. The zygote showing diploid, and which means which contain two set of chromosomes. Now the second, that is very very important in the angiosperms, triple fusion, either second fertilization. Triple fusion is nothing but the second male gamete fuse with fuse with secondary nucleus, either polar nucleus, the polar nucleus which contain two set of chromosome, and the male gamete having only one set of chromosome, that is similar with the first fertilization only. The male gamete fusion with the secondary nucleus, which is form triple cell, either triploid cells, that is commonly called as pen. Pen means, the abbreviation of pen is primary endosperm nucleus. This is a very very important. In angiosperms, what is the they are, somewhat they are asking in MSc, what is the condition of endosperm in angio? That is the best example for all angiosperms having only triploid nature. Why? Because the pen or endosperm formed after the fertilization, either in the second fertilization process. In gymno is also having endosperm, but that gymnosperm's endosperm condition is applied. Why? Because the formation of endosperm is, the formation of endosperm is before fertilization process. How? In gymnosperms are endosperm formation in the before fertilization is nothing but the before fertilization, some cases the female gametophyte is directly converted into endosperm. So this is the main difference between angio and gymnosperms. In the angiosperms we can observe triple fusion and triploid nature of endosperm. In the gymno only having haploid nature of endosperm. Right? This is the common embryo structure. This embryo structure which is participating two fertilization process, especially the first fertilization and second fertilization. The first fertilization is called as double fusion, and the second one, that is triple fusion. And now the ovule, the pollen grain, after pollen grain, you know very well about the pollen grain structure, I think so. Pollen grain which is covering two layers, that is exine and intine, at the time of palinology. What is palinology? Is nothing but the study of pollen grains. On that time I can explain the pollen grain structure in deeply. The best example, hibiscus pollen grain, and which is covering two layers, to the outside and the inner side. The outside pollen grain, outer layer which is called as exine, then inner layer that is called as intine. The exine with made of sporopollenin, and intine with made of intine with made of common cell components like cellulose and hemicellulose, right? And here why I am discussing about pollen grain. In the pollen grain, the surface of the exine which are showing a pores. This is a very very important. These pores which is called as germpore. See, these are helping in the germinate of pollen tubes, especially while in the time of reproduction time, the pollen grain which produce pollen tube through the germ tubes. See, the pollen tube enter into the ovule. Majorly, three different kinds are there. First of all, that is poroporate. See, which the pollen. The pollen tube enter into the ovules mainly classified into three types. That is the first one, chalazogamy. See, what is chalazogamy? Then the pollen tube. Then, for example, I can show. This is the general pollen grain. This pollen grain enter into the ovule by the chalazal region. This is the common chalazal region. See, the pollen grain which producing a like tube-like structure, this tube which enter into the chalazal. See, that is the chalazogamy. Right now, see, the chalazogamy is first discovered by troop scientist. So very important this point for entrances, especially the chalazogamy first discovered by troop scientist in the plant of casuarina. That's the most important. Then second one, the pollen grain which produce pollen tube enter into the through micropylar region. This is the micropylar region. The pollen tube enter into the micropylar region, that is porogamy. See, and next one, mesogamy. See, mesogamy is nothing but this is the common pollen grain which producing pollen tube enter into the in the middle integuments. These are the main three ways the pollen tube enter into the ovule. That is the first one, this is the first one, chalazogamy. Then second one, through the micropylar region. This is the third one, which means the enter into the pollen tube enter into the ovule at the time of reproduction. We can observe mainly three ways. That is one, through the chalaza, that is commonly called as chalazogamy. This is first discovered by troop scientists in the plant of casuarina. The second way, that is by the through micropylar region. This is porogamy. Then the third way, which is through the middle integuments. See, this is the commonly called as mesogamy. These main three ways, most of the pollen grain most of the pollen grain which produce pollen tube, most of the pollen tubes enter into the ovule through micropylar is now this is the common and similar to all plants. Especially, see, this is the common ovule structure, and the development of the megasporogenesis and the embryo sac structure. I can explain. This is the usually this type of embryo sac which is present in the ovule. This is the common ovule structure which is covering outside mainly three integuments. This is the common ovule you can observe. This is the micropylar region. This is the chalazal region. The pollen tube here, the pollen grain which producing a tube. This is the common pollen tube enter into the ovule through micropylar. See, in the pollen tube we can observe through two male gametes. Then first male gamete and second male gamete. The first male gamete fuse with see, this is the first male gamete fuse with egg cell. This is the egg cell. The first male gamete fuse with egg cell. The second male gamete fusion with polar nucleus. See, the second male gamete fusion with the polar nucleus, that is a triple fusion. Why? Because in the polar nucleus which contain double nucleus, and the second male gamete which are having one more nucleate condition, these which produce triple fusion, triploid condition of the cell. These all belongs to male female reproductive organ. Before that I can explain anther structure. In the before the class, anther structure, the pollen grain structure, even the pollen grain size and shape. Even in the pollinology we can see the a particular system about the pollen grain, that is NPC system. We can observe that is a NPC system, which means N, that is nothing but the number of pollen grain with present, and then in P which means the position. See the pollen grain position, and then character. That is the third one. That is nothing but character. These are all belongs to um, male and female, male and female uh, structures. See, before that I can explain fertilization. We can, the embryo sacs are mainly three different type of developments are present. See, before that I can explain the in the megasporogenesis, which producing four tetrad spores. These are the four megaspores, and these are all applied in condition. Why? Because in the reaction of the meiosis which is present, the megaspore mother cell which participating one meiosis division which producing four megaspores. The meiosis which producing only four megaspores, that is all are having applied at the time of embryo sac development. The four megaspores are above the four megaspores, three are generated, only one is functionalized sometime. Then sometime in the above four megaspores, two are degenerated, and one is remaining two are functionalized. Sometimes after the meiosis, we can observe four megaspores tetrad. These four megaspores are participated in the development of the embryo sacs. Then the participation of the megaspores base is the development of the embryo sac, mainly three types. The first one, monosporic embryo sac type. See, this is very important. The second one, that is diasporic embryo sac structure, or the development diasporic embryo sac development. Then third one, tetrasporic embryo sac development. This is the common development types, mainly which present three different type of embryo sac development types: monosporic, diasporic, and tetrasporic. After next class I can explain these three things. Now I can explain in this class MSc notes. They're asking what is the condition of nucellus tissue. This is a very important. The nucellus tissue condition always deployed in angio, and this nucellus tissue is modified of sporogenous cell, the sporogenous mother cell. Then this sporogenous mother cell is also having diploid condition of the cell. This sporogenous mother cell which is convert into megaspore mother cell, well, when the time of megasporogenesis. This is very important. Next, what is the condition of egg cell? That is always before fertilization, that is always applied in nature. Next, then what is the which cells, which how many cells and how many nucleus are present in angiosperm embryo sac, they're asking. Then seven cellule and eight nucleus in the seven cellule, which means in antipodal cells are three, and egg cells in one, and synergy cells two, one cell in the central, that is polar region cell. And 8 nucleus is nothing but antipodal cells are also having only haploid cells. These are 3, egg cell 1, 4, and remaining 2 synergid 6. And in the central polar region, which we can observe 2 nucleus cells, that is with complete 8 celled and 8 nucleus, 7 celled and 8 nucleus. Next, and what is the function of synergid? Helping in the development of egg cell, and which produce water and minerals, and also nutrition to the egg cell. Next, mm, yes, yes. If the chalagel, see, the pollen grain enter into the the pollen tube enter into the chalagal region, which is known as, that is chalagogamy and chalagogamy. This type of process of chalazogomy was first, who was first discovered, they are asking. That is troop scientists so many times are asking in MSc. Even in the which plant he is discovered, that is also very very important in Casuarina. And next one, these are all this is the development of megaspores genesis. This is the embryo sac enter into three ways, and embryo sac is first I can explain. And this is the female gametophyte structure before the development of female gametophyte, the structure of the embryo sac before fertilization we can see. After that, which is participating fertilization process. See, what is the definition of fertilization is nothing but the male gamete fusion with the female gametophyte, which is form zygote. That is fertilization process. The zygote is directly which produce embryo, and the embryo after germination which producing a new plant body or new thallus, whatever. If the embryo which contain two set of chromosome directly which produce two set of chromosome of embryo which producing a diploid plant body, the diploid plant body which is called as sporophytic plant body. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you students, thank you one and all.